Good morning, everyone. My name is János Völvesi, and I am one of the partners of our CiRCLETECH young researchers in the CiRCLETECH project, Miskolc University, and they were asked to talk about their career, they linked to the project of the CiRCLETECH. By profession, I am a geologist, so my guest today is a brave young mechanical engineer. And our podcast today will talk about his career. His name is Petrik Máté, and he will talk about his involvement in the CiRCLETECH project. So, welcome, Máté. Good.
Welcome.
As I've looked at your resume, it was impressive, really impressive. High distinction, summa cum laude PhD in mechanical engineering. That is something. So I am not an engineer myself, so I always look at with high appreciation of those who do this very precise and I would say dry, but it's not so. You see how not dry and mechanical engineers, but dry science and profession. And finally, you stayed in the university. You have stayed in the university, and now you are a senior lecturer and teaching young generation to engineering sciences. My first question is that what drive makes a brave young guy saying that, okay, I don't need so much money, because if you go outside, that is much easier. But I would like to stay and look at the research and look at the teaching. So what is the drive?
First of all, thank you. Secondly, this is a very interesting case. To be honest, when I was in the last semester of the MSc graduation, I was not planning to stay at the university. But two of my professors, Professor Jármi and Professor Szepesi, convinced me that I should stay here. I could be a good researcher, I could be a good mechanical engineer. And after that, they convinced me. I stay at the university. I started my PhD program. That was 8 years ago, and the others are history.
That's great. I know Professor Jármi very well. He invented at the time a very regularly coming competition with the bridge, if you remember.
Yes, I am.
Yeah. So and one of my family side is always building bridges. So I always followed him straight on this track, which means that being in the university is not only a dry science. Sometimes it's a game. Sometimes it's a competition.
That is correct.
For example, heat exchange and heat exchanger as your main topic.
Yes.
What is the juice in it? What makes it sexy nowadays?
I don't know. In BSc course and MSc course, I'm graduated in chemical engineering. So this is very close to me. And all of the topics, pressure vessels, heat exchange, heat transfer, systems, the heat transfer processes and the heat exchangers are closest to me. And after that, which will be my PhD topic, that was not a question, because there will be heat exchangers. Very, very important devices in household, in industry, in automotives, and so on. And if we can improve the heat performance, we can reduce the mass, the fabrications, and so on. I think it's very useful for the next and the other generations.
don't like to be close to a heat exchanger because I got cold many times. So I like to push it away, but more and more we are running into this warmer climate. We can't avoid, really. We can't avoid it. We know the traditional heat exchanger, that it takes heat out from the room and pushes it out to the environment. What innovations can you tell about this field? So how the heat exchangers look like now?
They are the biggest steam consumers in the industry, for example. Mm-hmm. If we can improve the heat transfer area, the processes, for example, we cannot use only cooling water because we mixing microparticles for the water or any oil and so on. We can improve these processes, and after that we can in the furnaces or the steam generators, we can use less power, electric power, coal, and so on. So it's I think reducing the global warming.
Mm-hmm. Oh yes, of course. In this way, it was not agreed before, but as you are a chemical engineer, how the chemical engineer can link to the heat storage, heat transfer?
I think it's in English it's not a good phrase because I am a mechanical engineering specializing in chemical industry. So we cannot handle
chemical technological.
Yes, this is the correct.
Yes, but at least chemistry is close to you.
Yes, of course.
Chemistry is close to you. So my dream, because I am a geologist and the zeolites are geological materials, and I'm always playing with the zeolites because the zeolites are effective means of storing and releasing heat. And I'm always thinking in my spare time how the zeolites can be pushed into this storage on both sides, so cooling and heating.
That is an interesting question.
When we started talking about this and talking in the heat exchanger, waste heat. So how can we talk about those waste heats which we are just pushed to the street? How can you collect it? Because I think that is the problem. The waste heat is dissipating. And
yes, of course. That's an interesting question. My research based on two pillars. One pillar is the industrial heat exchangers, for example, chemical industry, chemical plants and power plants also. And the other pillar is the automotive radiators topic. I think I will start with my second pillar. If we can reduce the mass of these radiators, the consumption will be lower for the electric cars also and the combustion engine also. But in summertime, when we standing in the traffic jam, this dissipating heat, this waste heat, I think it's not collectible. For example, we use zeolite for this purpose. We can push it into the car. That will be mass increasing. There will be volume increasing. That will be causes a higher energy consumption for the car.
So end of the day. So that's the final account when we add up all the pluses, but we have to add up all the minuses.
Yes, of course.
That's true.
I think the electric automotives will be the future, but before that we have to solve two different problems. The first problem is how can we produce electrical energy, nuclear power plants, traditional power plants, and so on. And the other question is how can we store the electric charges. And I think my future or my purpose is related to the first problem, and I have to calculate or innovate different type of heat exchanger, different fluids for the heat exchanger to produce more efficiently from the moving energy or kinetic energy to electrical energy.
To electrical energy, that's true. And one final solution is go to the bus.
Yes, of course.
That, I think that is the best. Okay, when I went through your literature database, it was really, really great. 85 entries, more than many of these professors here. But that's only for the interview. So this is quite a number compared to 8 years of your graduation time. I have seen that these publications were always, or most of them, in teams. How is your teamwork capacity? So, would you like working in teams? Being part of a team?
Yes, of course. At the Faculty of Mechanical Engineering and Informatics, there are 11 institutes, and one of the most little institute is the institute, which is the Energy Engineering and Chemical Machinery. But I have a lot of young, ambitious, smart colleagues and smart professors who take advices for me or us, and we inspire each other, and we like to work with each other, like to improve ourselves, teaching each other. So it's a very, very impressive team.
Very good to hear. So it's really very good to hear, because what I sometimes feel that there is a widening gap between my generation and the young generation. This is why I'm very happy to be here and doing these interviews, because I understand that this gap is virtual. We can really kick it out. So
we are lucky. We are lucky.
Okay. I hope you are lucky. I have seen you. I have seen you running, and you are also in your spare time a runner.
Yes, I am.
Definitely, I've seen your Facebook entry on the long marathon between Košice and Miskolc. It's 80 few kilometers, no? The whole distance.
More than 100.
More than 100. You did it alone, or
No. The relay. I was the 7th runner. I think I was the person who go from Hungary to Slovakia. I go through the border.
Again in team?
In team, of course. I always been an active person. I used to play football. At this moment, I'm cycling, running, playing tennis, playing darts. So everything. I like sport.
Máté, thank you so much. It was great.
That was my pleasure. Thank you very much.